Salam alaikum, my friends. Bonjour, mes amis. Hi, guys. Collection review for another watch collector from Saudi Arabia. That's the second one in a couple of weeks. This one is for Badr. I've checked before how to pronounce properly his name. I hope I did it justice. This is a beautiful Rolex heavy, but I think really well balanced with amazing mix of colors collection here. Now, Saudi Arabia is changing a lot especially in the past 2 years. Lots of construction in Riyadh, big young population over there, and yeah, a lot more freedom, and certainly the freedom to own a beautiful Rolex collection. All right, let's dig into it. Badr tells me that his favorite watch is the Bluesy. And if you know a little bit about Saudi Arabia, how hot it is, how nobody walks in the street pretty much at this time of the year, I'm sure you go in your car from your home to the shopping mall. You can understand that that's the kind of watch you want to have over there. And I love that watch. Many of my friends love it, but something stops us, in our very gray towns. We feel it might be a bit too flash. We might not be able to handle it. And it feels a bit more like the watch that a divorce lawyer in Miami would wear. But if you live in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, for example, that is the kind of watch you definitely want. So I can understand why it's your favorite. Actually, when I was thinking myself of selling everything and starting over with two watches, one would be the steel version white dial of the Patek 5960R with the annual calendar and the flyback chronograph. And the other watch I was thinking of was that watch, the Bluesy, because it would be just addressing all the things you want in a two watch collection. So wonderful. Now, what I love, there's another two-tone watch in this box that complements it amazingly. It is a root beer, but not just any root beer. It has, if you look at the indices, the nipple dial, as it is called, and the faded dial itself, which is the eye of the tiger. Tiger's eye, as the collectors have named it. Wonderful watch, wonderful complement to the Bluesy, and this is what gives this collection that hint that the collector behind it loves watches. He's not just buying the hot Rolex model. So before you go and put your comments there, you Rolex haters, that he's getting all the hot watches, there's more to it in this collection for sure. Now, if you're gonna have a steel sub, you should have the Hulk, of course. Any steel sub is great, but the Hulk, hey, how can you not love that watch? And the other super hot Rolex in there, of course, is the Pepsi GMT. And by the looks of it on the picture, it is one of the first generation. So where the color of the bezel, especially the red, was more like a pink, like a faded color. And what would you know? The dealers now in Hong Kong are asking more for this version than the following versions, where the colors got a bit more stronger, closer to a blue and a deep red. So interesting and beautiful watch. So those four watches already is just a mega collection. Now, what I like is that Badr has toned it down with the Yachtmaster Platinum bezel, bidirectional, gray dial, already a notch more calm there. Very beautiful watch, very cool. And then when he goes to the Grand Bazaar to try to negotiate a new carpet, for example, you don't want to wear a flashy watch. So he's got the Rolex Explorer for that mission. I'm wearing the same watch as I'm recording this. Absolutely beautiful. And you need a more simple watch sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to have something too flashy on the wrist. And the last Rolex is looks like a 36 millimeter. They just there with the Jubilee band and a blue dial. So I don't know the background of these watches. I'd love to know how you got to acquire them. What's the story of the day just? Because I would have thought you would go maybe for 41 millimeters. Maybe it was passed down to you. Maybe it was a good deal. Maybe it was one of the first ones you bought. Would be interesting to know. Same question about the Omega, the only Omega there. Maybe it was your first expensive purchase, or maybe it was also passed on to you, or maybe you just love the Omega. It's a bit alone there, but just beautiful, cool on the rubber strap. And then you have a couple of watches there, more for workout purpose, I suppose. A couple of, looks like, yeah, Casio, two Casios, a G-Shock. Wow, wow, what a cool. I love the mix of colors, the power of those watches. If you had to have only one, I agree with you. I think the Bluesy is such a cool watch, and especially when you live in a very hot climate, that's the kind of watch you want. But yeah, you show your love of watches with the root beer, which I think is just amazing. The eye of the tiger there, it's just wonderful, so cool. And also you have a smaller Datejust, and the Explorer, which is such an enthusiast watch, and of course your very cool Yachtmaster, a bit more understated, but such a beautiful watch, which could also be a wonderful one watch collection for anybody. Now, well, you don't even ask me any specific question, which is which is nice. But hey, let's look at where we could go with this collection. Now, first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the two Casios out of the box, keep them in a nice tidy drawer for where when you go do your workout, which opens up possibilities. Hey, don't we love it? Now I don't know the backstory of the Omega. If it's a sentimental piece, if it was something you got before you got the Rolex. So if you're not attached to it, maybe just focus on the super Rolex only collection. But if you're attached to it, I would love to complement that with a very special Speedmaster. Now, although you think that this collection is crazy expensive and all that because it's Rolex and everything, actually there's all the watches here are pretty much in the same. I mean, if you get them at the retail price, they're in the same price band, maybe a bit more for the bluesy. So we don't necessarily want to go crazy in what we would add, but what I would love to add is the Ed White Speedmaster. I think that's what a man like you would really appreciate. They only make 1,000 to 2,000 a year because it's made in one specific studio. The movement is finished and put together by hand by a small group of watchmakers, if not just one watchmaker. So they're a bit difficult to get. And this is where I would love people to comment. If you're in Saudi Arabia and yourself, Badr, please let us know, how is the market over there? I know you have big malls and everything, but I know that in Dubai, for example, it's very hard to get the Rolex, at least, because everything is controlled. Every brand is controlled by one family. I'd love to know how it goes in Saudi Arabia, if it goes through the same channel, or if it has its own imports from Switzerland. Let us know. Is there a big second-hand market? Did you get some of these pieces second-hand? Would be great to know if somebody can shed a bit some light. So yeah, I don't know how easy it would be to get that Omega Ed White. There's a long wait list here in Hong Kong, but of course Hong Kong is a crazy watch market. But I'm sure the watch market is quite strong also in Riyadh and around. I don't know which city you are in, but yeah, that Omega there feels a bit too lonely. That Seamaster, I'd love for you to have the Speedy, and well, any Speedy is great. And from the entry level to the more exotic ones, but you want something at the level of the rest of your pieces there, something that can really compete in your heart. And I think that the Ed White with the reissue of the 321 movement with a human hand, human touch on it, that would add, that little bit of watchmaking from Switzerland that you can see through the case back. That would be really a wonderful addition. Of course, everybody would say you should add a Daytona. Well, they're not that easy to get. Of course, the steel models are very difficult to get. Maybe you get some of those pieces at your authorized dealer, so maybe you have a shot at it. But maybe you don't even like that watch. I think what would be nicer in this one would be to go a bit back in time to the Zenith models. I like it because the subdials are right in the middle. It's a nice symmetry to it, and I think a two tone with the black dial, or or even the full champagne or gold dial. I think that would be really cool. It's something that's a bit missing here. Alternatively, I mean, I'd rather get the Ed White than the. I think it's more usable as a chronograph, but anyway, it's more important to me as a chronograph than the Daytona. But I had to mention the Daytona. What would be nice, maybe? I'd love to know the background of your Datejust, but I think someone like you would enjoy the Datejust 2, Datejust 41 at the moment, the Datejust 41 on a Jubilee. And since you have already some yellow gold, I'd like you to add the rose gold, the Ever Rose as they call it, maybe with the chocolate dial. I think that would add another color in the collection, a bit of chocolate color, a bit of brown, and the Ever Rose. That would complement this beautiful collection to perfection. And in the next price bracket, of course, the Day Date and the Sky Dwellers would be pretty much game over to round up a beautiful collection like this. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this super nice collection. Badr, thank you so much for asking me to review your collection, for sharing it with us. And you guys, whether you are in Saudi Arabia or in Ushuaia, Florida, or in Russia, Japan, anywhere in the world, don't forget to send me your collection review request to uptickwr@gmail.com. Speak to you in the next one. Bye bye.